Firegirl, Chapter 19. I was in her house again. Her mother was sitting at the kitchen table when I knocked, but it was her father who came from another room and let me in. "She's upstairs," he said. Her mother looked at me and smiled slightly when I went by, but she didn't say anything or get up. Her hands were folded around a cup. There were papers spread over the kitchen table in front of her. I went upstairs to Jessica's room. The last of the day's light was fading now across her wall. She was sitting on her bed, as she had been the first time I went to see her. "Hey," I said, as I wanted to sit at the desk again, but her chair was piled with clothes, so I sat at the other end of the bed. Right off, I wanted to say I was sorry for the way the election thing had been all goofed up, but that there was always next time, and even now she could help Courtney on some project or something. Even I could help. That would be the way to do it. "Today was so dumb," I started, but I was thinking. "I'm leaving," she said. I looked at her. "What?" "I'm leaving on Wednesday. I won't be back in school." I felt as if somebody had just punched me in the chest. "What?" "It's not working out," she said. "We thought it would work out here. That's why we rented this place. It was supposed to be until Christmas, at least, but the doctor doesn't like how it's going. There's a thing with my circulation, and he wants me to go back up to Boston again." I wasn't getting it. "It's only been like 3 weeks. You should be here more. You have to be here more." Words were getting jumbled in my head and on my tongue. I was sweating again, and I didn't even have my uniform on. I tried to look into her eyes. I knew they were so green, but the light was nearly gone. "I mean, you can't. You can get back to normal in school now," she said. That was just too much. I felt myself begin to lose it. My eyes stung. "Jessica, don't." "Don't what? Don't hate me." "I don't. For what?" It was coming out now, and I was mad. For today, the whole stupid thing. I should have talked to you more, said more stuff to you, but I didn't. I don't know why, but I didn't. I'm just like every other idiot. "No, you're not. I didn't do anything." She breathed out, and then she said quietly, "It doesn't matter. I have other stuff, important stuff, about getting better, or not getting better. Every time I go in the hospital, I find out all over again what really matters. This doesn't." I was shaking, imagining the hospital, then the car, and Jessica on fire inside of it. Tears started boiling up out of me. "But people are actually scared of you," I said, "of the way you look. They don't want you around. You have to hate them." I noticed she was trembling now, her hands shaking in her lap. "Sure, I hate them. You don't even know, but there are always some people who won't be that afraid." "I'm afraid," I said, surprising myself because I thought it was the worst thing I could say, but it was true. "The way you look, it scares me. I'm too scared to be close or nice to you. I don't say anything. I don't talk to my parents about you. I never talk to you where anybody can see me." Jessica laughed abruptly. "Who cares who sees you talk to me? Besides, you said my name. That was something." I turned to her. It was getting so dark in the room I almost couldn't see her face anymore. "You heard me?" The night sounds were starting outside the window. "You really have to speak louder," she said. "I'm such a jerk," I said, laughing and crying at the same time. "No one else heard it." "It's okay. Besides, I'd probably only get 1 vote, so I'd never win. Then you'd feel a lot worse." "Yeah," I snorted. "You'd be tied with me as the loser." "A vote for Tom," she said, even though I couldn't see. I could tell there was a smile on her face when she said that. You can tell if someone is smiling when they speak. For the next few minutes, we didn't say anything. I wiped my face and rubbed my hands on my pants, and the room was almost totally dark now. As the minutes went by and we didn't speak, the silence went around and dropped down over us like the night dropped into the room. It was strange, but it was okay. It was good. We were quiet, both of us, in her dark room. I practically couldn't see her anymore. She was just the shape of a person. But I felt that of all places I could be, at supper, in my room, watching TV with my parents, in Jeff's car, anywhere, I was in the one place I should be, doing what I should be doing. The room darkened finally and completely. I still knew the rest of the world was outside the window, but it was okay without us. Everything was just waiting for us to finish what we were doing. It's dumb for me to ask for a lot now, she said after a while. It took me a long time to figure it out, but when I throw up or pass out or hurt all over or get some new test results, it seems stupid to want to be pretty or to have friends or to fit in or to be in high school. I just feel amazed each time I wake up after a treatment and still know who I am. My mother was the first one with me when I woke up after my accident, and she gave me this. She moved in the dark, and I just made out that she took the stuffed green frog from her pillow and held it up. You said you hated her. She shook her head. Sometimes. And then in a whisper, I was so afraid, Tom. Do you know what I did when I woke up the first time after the accident? What? I asked her if I was still alive or if I had died. She turned to me. I was crying again. Isn't that the dumbest thing? And she didn't say anything. All she did was cry and cry. I guess she didn't know what to say. I didn't know then what I was like. Isn't that the dumbest thing, to ask if I was alive? I wiped my face and remembered what everyone had said, that they couldn't believe she was alive. It's not dumb. I'm glad you're alive. Me too. It's different now, but I'm glad. It's a good thing to be, I said. You could do a lot with just being alive. She breathed out a quiet, almost laugh. Because you shouldn't ask for too much, right? You told me that. Boxes were being shoved downstairs, chairs thumped on the floor, silverware and dishes were clanking together. You have to pack? I saw her nod. Yeah, the moving people are coming in the morning. My chest was pounding. Bye, Tom. She was just a shape in the dark, and I leaned over and sobbed like a baby and hugged her. I haven't hugged my mother in probably 2 years. But while I held Jessica, it seemed the only thing to be doing. It was long. When I moved away, my cheek brushed against hers. It was wet too. Bye. Outside, the street was empty, and the night was clear and blue, and when I got to my room, I lay in the dark for a while, just being quiet as the air streamed over my bed. I imagined her face as it is now. It faded into the one in the picture, then moved away and came back different still.